Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to Homebell Workshop. Welcome to Wednesday Live. What is going on? Happy Wednesday or Thursday if you're in another part of the world. Either way, I hope everybody's doing awesome and welcome. Welcome. Let's get settled in here and hang out for a while. Cheers, everybody. Coffee. Gotta have it. Today it's cold this morning. We've had a really nice string of weather, and today's a little colder, a little snow blowing around. I think it's just for a day, though. Real windy. So if you hear a weird hissing sound, I've got the heater running. It's kind of cold in here. Normally, I would fire up the diesel heater early on and get it warmed up in here, but the diesel heater has died. I believe the blower motor has gone out, so I'm waiting on the replacement to arrive. It's shipped, and it's en route, but it's not here yet, so I gotta get by with this propane deal. So that's what it is. Let's see here. I gotta get the chat going on here. Can't see it. Hang on here. We're getting everything situated. All right, there we go. Okay, let's see here. All right, Robert's here. Robert says, howdy, people. Hope everyone's doing well, staying safe and healthy. We are doing well, Robert. A little cool, like I said earlier, but we're doing good. I hope you're doing the same. Terry's here. Terry says, hello, Jeff. Finally made it on time this time. Hello, all, and coffee up. Right on. Coffee up, Terry. Let me turn off these notifications here. What's going on? There we go. All right. Oh, let's see. Sam's here. Sam says, hello, everyone. What's going on, Sam? Good morning. Robert says, audio's out of sync. Oh, no. Really? Oh, he says, synced back up. It's fine. Okay. Whew. Good. Sam says, live chat, Jeff. Bam. Got it. No, I had it. Now it's back to top chat. Why does it change? Oh, man, they are really messing with us now. I changed it at once. Donna's here. Coffee up. Donna, good morning. Coffee up. Mine's super good this morning. Maybe because it's cooler out, kind of cold, and it's always tastes really good when it's cold. What's everybody been up to? What are we working on? What kind of projects you got going on? What is in the works around here? Well, it's a bit of a disaster. Bit of a disaster over here. I'll show you that here in just a moment. Sam says just moderated a 3.5-hour stream. Wow, that's a pretty lengthy one. We won't be going that long here. What have I been working on? Bam, bam, guitar neck. This is my this is the lefty for the Dorian. It's got a coat of finish on there, but I'm seeing it didn't come out all that great, so I'm going to go back through and give it a light scuff, apply another coat. This is Osmo oil on this. Same as I did on the Subtonic bass, but I got the frets in there. I think it looks pretty awesome. I don't think I had the frets in last week. I think I was getting ready to. They're still a little sticky, actually. Right there. Huh. Probably didn't wipe enough of it off. Yeah, we'll take care of that. But yeah, there's the neck. We've got the logo on there, serial number and stuff, all applied to the back. And I'm working on editing the video for getting this thing ready to go. But also, but wait, there's more. I am in the process of doing a second one. This is the right-handed one. I mean, I wasn't supposed to tell you that, was I? No. Yeah, I'm building a righty at the same time since I got the files all worked out for the lefty neck. It's not all that difficult to create mirror image of everything. So I'm building the righty neck. Got to get the frets in there. Got to finish sanding, shaping this a little bit. But this one's coming along pretty good. So I'm building two of these simultaneously, basically. A lefty for myself and a righty for others, for whoever may want it, or to play it, or to try it. So that's what I'm working on. Like I said, doing the edit for this one right now. It may be ready for this weekend, but I'm not sure. It might have to get pushed until next weekend for this video to be ready. I'm still working on learning the new editing software, and I feel like I've got a handle on things, like I can get through it. It's more the shortcuts and stuff that speed things up that I'm trying to incorporate. It just takes a long time for me right now, but it's getting there. It's getting there. So be on the lookout. The next video will be editing. We'll be editing. We'll be building that neck, the rest of that neck. Harry Dude says, what's up? How are we all? Daylight savings changed for... Yes, it did, Harry Dude. You know what? I totally forgot to mention that last week. I wanted to remind you that it was changing. So sorry about that. I meant to throw that out there, but I totally forgot about it. Yes, daylight savings changed, thankfully. Does that mean we're not quite as late for you? I think, right? We're more on track. I'm not sure. I can't keep that straight. I just wish that daylight savings would just go away for everybody. Do we need that anymore? Come on. Who's with me? Hit that thumbs up button. Actually, though, I kind of joke about that, but seriously, I got a serious question about that. I was talking to someone the other day, and we were talking about daylight savings and, all the different reasons that people said that that we're doing it. But have you, honestly here, have you ever talked to somebody, or maybe you're that person, do you know anybody that actually is for keeping daylight savings time? That's a legitimate question. That's not poking fun at anybody or anything. If you feel that way, I'd love to know. Because I've never talked to anyone that likes daylight savings time or that wants to keep it, but yet it doesn't go away. I don't understand it. Let's see. Robert says, waiting on some tools for my computer rebuild. Oh, cool. All my original tools must have grown legs and walked off. Darn it. It says, tools I think will be here most likely tomorrow. Right on. Right on. Yeah, tools are funny that way. Sometimes they do. They just, poof, they decide to go on vacation. Mike Johnson's here. Mike says, morning. Just listening today. Right on, Mike. Hope you're doing well. And even if you're just listening in, I'm glad you're here. Right on. Robert says, yeah, the daylight savings thing caught me as well. And yes, I don't like it either. Yeah, I know. It totally got me this year too. We were supposed to have, my daughter was supposed to be in a horse show this past Saturday. But we had some weather move in late Friday and kind of messed things up, and they ended up canceling the show. But that threw me off the entire weekend because I already had it in my brain that we were going to be there on Saturday. Then we didn't end up going. So then it made Saturday, for some reason, feel like Sunday to me. And then, so I wasn't anticipating daylight savings. So when I woke up on Sunday morning, it was like I got up, and I've got a couple of old school clocks that don't change automatically. And I looked at them and they looked fine, no big deal. But then I looked at my phone and it was an hour ahead. And I'm like, how did I lose an hour all of a sudden? It was just like 6 o'clock. Now it's 7 o'clock. I was all messed up for a little while. But anyway. Sam says you could set up your own timber mill. You can get an attachment for a chainsaw. Sam, I need that breaking news sound. I have one. I've done several videos where I'm milling lumber with my chainsaw mill. It is, it is one of the things that I really, really enjoy. I really do. Even in the wintertime, it's fun because, you're kind of working hard when it's cold and snowy outside. In the summertime, it's kind of cool because, well, you're not freezing. I really enjoy that. I have a chainsaw with a 42-inch bar. I've got a 48-inch chainsaw mill attachment for that saw, and it is awesome. The problem is I don't have any logs right now. I got to get some more material from somewhere so that I can mill some more. I really enjoy doing that. Norman's here. Norman says, nope. The daylight savings, I'm guessing. It's morning, Jeff. Good morning, Norman. How are you this fine Wednesday? Mike says, would rather be on daylight savings or standard time, which right now, right? The current time that we're on, I think is what you're saying. That's where I would rather be. I would rather be on this time we're on right now and just leave it alone. Harry Dude says, you've gone from 3 a.m. to 2 a.m., which works better for my night shift on site on Wednesday nights. I can watch in the last hour of my shift. Right on. Yeah, that's cool. That's what I thought. I thought when we were, there's a time when we're much closer synced up and it's not as big a difference. Let's see here. Sam says the UK does daylight savings. I think there's a lot of places that do. Way more than I ever thought. For the longest time, I thought it was just a US thing, but it's not at all. Sam says, don't forget to smash the like button. Not the computer screen doing it, though. Yeah, hit the like button. Maybe don't smash it, but you can, I guess, if you want. Press that like button. If you're not already subscribed for some strange reason, I have heard reports, though, of people being unsubscribed. I don't know if that's true or not, but double check and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Teresa, Steve, good morning, sir. Good morning. I hope you're doing good. Right on. Welcome. What are you working on today? Norman says, good. Finals week. Oh, man. Yeah, finals before spring break kind of thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We do have spring break. This is the last week of school before 2 weeks off, at least here in my area. Schools are on spring break for 2 whole weeks. Wow. Robert says, you need to see if someone will let you harvest some of the beetle kill pine in your area. There is, I feel like I could get a hold of that. I would rather have hardwood, but there's not a lot of hardwood around here. There's a big firewood processing place here. Some sort of it's like a local deal. It's not like a factory or anything, but they've got a big operation. I think I could probably get logs from them. And they harvest it from, we 10, 15 years ago. I don't know exactly. We had a pretty big forest fire nearby. They harvest a lot of that material from there, as well as the beetle kill and all that. So I probably could get a hold of that. And I keep thinking I want to stop up there and talk to those guys and just see. But yeah, I agree, Robert. Like, I really do enjoy milling lumber. Is there something fun about it? Yes, it's hard work. In the summertime, yes, it's hot, but it's fun. It's like to open up the log and see the inside of a tree that nobody's ever seen before. It's just cool. Norman says, I'm working on a new fresh build today after this chat. Right on. Nice, nice. I've been working on my new fresh build. I got this neck ready to go. I got to get another coat, at least a finish. It doesn't feel quite as smooth as I was hoping, so I'm going to give that a light scuff, put on one more coat, and this neck will be ready. I've been working on another neck, the righty neck as well, which is basically just a mirror image of that one. It's coming along good. I got to get the frets installed, finish editing the video, and then get on with the body. Sam says, come on, you're an American. Where's the V8 chainsaw and your Tim Allen chainsaw noises? Oh, oh, oh. A V8 chainsaw. Have you ever seen those? Like that's a thing. And like those chainsaw competitions. Mine does sound pretty cool though. It's not a V8, but. Robert says, I think maybe Montana doesn't follow the daylight savings. So I'm not sure about that one. I know Arizona doesn't, or at least parts of Arizona doesn't. I don't know who else. Harry Dude says we exit daylight saving on the first Sunday of April. Okay. That should move the live to 1 a.m. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, see, that's another thing that's weird with daylight savings. Everybody has a different take on it, right? Like, hey, dude, you guys are the first Sunday of April. We used to be closer to that, maybe even that same date. I'm not sure. But then they moved it earlier and made it go later, which I'm okay with. But yeah, I can't keep track. Heritage says, Home Improvement, great show. That is a great show. Yeah, I used to watch that. Robert says you could use the pine as the test wood, and if anything interesting enough, you could make a guitar from it. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I'm pretty much out of all that scrap test wood. So yeah, that's actually a really good idea. I do need some more. I've actually had to use some maple for a test wood recently. Yeah, I might have to think about that. That's a good point. I like that. Thank you for that. I'm pondering. Yeah, very true. As I look around. It's a piece of material there. Getting all choked up. Wow, that was weird. You guys ever do that? You just like choke out of the blue? Norman says Arizona is the only state that never changes. Yeah, but I for some reason I feel like there's sections of Arizona that does. I could be wrong on that. I don't really know. Robert says Hawaii and Arizona are the only two states that don't observe. Just ask the search engine. Oh, cool. And Norman says, I don't know why they call it a lefty when you're actually using your right hand for fretting, which is the most important. I have thought about that before as well. Like, yeah, why is that? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't have an answer to that. Who knows? If anybody could answer that, we'd have to go back a long ways in time, I think, to determine that one. Heritage says not all Australia does it either, which creates even more time zones. Yes, yeah, see? Heritage, don't you guys have half-hour time zones? Isn't there half hours in there somewhere? I could be wrong on that one. But seems though I remember that. I got an update. I got an update on my fiber optic. I'm excited, I think. So, remember a while back, I was talking about how they've run the fiber optic lines through the yard, and I've just been waiting to get connected. I am scheduled to get connected to that fiber optic. It begins next Thursday. Next week. We're not going to have it in time for the live next week, but they're supposed to come in on Thursday. Hopefully they don't change it and something gets rescheduled because they've already rescheduled like twice. But they're scheduled to come here Thursday afternoon, run all of the line, however they do that, whether they run it overhead or they trench it underground. I have no idea. Don't really even care. But they're coming Thursday to get the line to the house. Then they're coming back Friday morning to run everything inside the house. So hopefully, by next Friday, end of day, we will be running on fiber optic internet. Please. That's going to be awesome, I hope. We're starting out with a 1 gig plan, which is a million times faster than what I'm on right now. So yeah, it's gonna be great. So everybody keep your fingers crossed that I can get connected to good internet, and then I can run a little higher quality settings on these streams. So that's the updates as of late. There was a guy here 2 days ago making some connections inside the box. I think he was adding whatever junction box, whatever they need that will branch out from their main trunk line. I think that's what he was doing. I don't really know what the thing was he had, but he was connecting something in there. And he said, this is all I need to do. And from there, you're ready for them to connect it. So, yes, can't wait. Can't wait. Sam says, on Streamlabs, you can triple stream with all comments appearing on one screen from the other live streams. I think you can do something similar. I'm using OBS. I think you can do something similar, but you have to use like another site that kind of there's a word, I can't think of it, that puts all of those together and then displays it in your stream. So yeah, I think I could do that in OBS as well. Robert says, so have you started cutting the bodies for the new builds? No, not yet, Robert. I've got this body here. I'm going to use the exact same file that I used for this right here to cut the body. And really what I need to do when I start on that the bodybuilding video, I need to drop this neck. I need to put that neck in place. And then I'm going to attach the bridge. I need to double check that my dimensions are correct and I can get intonation. Then once I verify that this is the right spot, then I can glue up the blank and start cutting. But I need to install the bridge here because if I need to make any adjustments to these hole locations, I want to do that now. I think this is going to work where it is, but I got to verify that. Usually when I'm doing a build, I locate the bridge completely separate. I don't even do the bridge holes. I'll mount the neck, I'll throw a couple strings on there, and then I can start measuring, where everything goes. Then I'll just mark and drill in place. But since this one's got string holes, I want to be able to, or string through holes, I want to be able to do everything all at once. So therefore I want the machine to do this work for me, but I need to just verify. And I'm going to use this body. Once that comes out okay, I can either adjust it forward or back if needed or leave it, and boom, I just start running it. I've got most of the work done ahead of time to create the body. I just need to verify that bridge location, but I want to do that once I have the neck done. That'll be part of the next video. Really, it's going to be verifying my dimensions, gluing up the blank, and cutting it out. I would imagine is probably going to be the entire video, or somewhere about that anyway. So that's the plan. That's the plan, Robert. Norman says, congratulations, speed. I hope so. Mike says, in fact, they will come in Wednesday to dig the trench and accidentally cut your current connection. That would just seem to be my luck. Yeah, that'd be terrible. Actually, they could not do that. It physically is not possible. Only because my current connection sort of works off, it's very similar to like a cell phone. It's not a cell signal, but there's an antenna, let's just say, a big antenna, radio tower, about 13 miles that way. And on the side of our house, there's a receiver dish. It looks very much like a dish network, kind of satellite TV kind of dish. It's not really a dish, it's just an antenna that receives the signal from that tower and then translates it to my Ethernet, which I plug into the router. It is really the only option that is available here. Is dial-up even still a thing? I don't even know, because I went from dial-up through the phone line straight to this years ago. And at the time, I went from dial-up to 1 gig speed, not 1 gig. What is the word? 1 megabit per second or something like that. Where a gig is what, 1,000. I went, my first high speed was 1. It's upgraded now to 20. That's all. That is literally all the speed I have, and that's if the skies are clear and not cloudy. Once in a while, I've seen it hit 25, but usually we're in the teens. Um, or if it's stormy, yeah, good luck. You're like 5 or 6 if you're lucky. I've even seen it as slow as 3. So that's how I have now. So there's no actual cable to cut. But yes, to your point, that would be my luck. Oh, well, I'm sorry. We hit the electric line. Now you have no power. Great. Sam says 8K streaming would be awesome. Yeah, I don't have any. I have nothing that'll display 8K. I don't even have anything that'll display 4K. Sam says merge them together. Hair Dude says 2 houses ago, I had terrible internet. Then they rolled out fiber down the street. The installation was so bad, and the techs they sent didn't even have the right tools to fix it. Oh, great. Yeah, see, that's what I'm afraid of. At least if they need a drill or something they don't have, I might probably have what they need. I hope that's not the case. So far, all the guys I've talked to have been super cool. Seem to know what they're doing. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Again, fingers crossed. Robert says to expand your shop and get more workspace in the shop, you might want to do some drawings and start getting a little of the wood each month. Then once you have enough, build the extension. Yeah, just a little at a time, slow and steady. Yep, I like that plan. Mike says, when I got my connection, I made sure they gave me a wired connection from the box on the house so I could use my own router rather than rent an optical router from them. Yeah, I'm going to see how that goes. I'm not 100% sure. I am absolutely not going to use their Wi-Fi and all that. I have my own already in place. All I want is an Ethernet connection with all the speed that I can then into the router. Yeah. I may have to use one of their routers to convert it from optical, to Ethernet. I don't really know, but I don't want to have to buy their stuff or rent their stuff. I know they have like a rental thing. No, I've got my own. Everything is already set. Everything's working. Everything's fine. I just need that. I just want that cable with Ethernet into the router, and boom. Robert says, then just cut an opening to make it one space. Yeah. Harry Dude says, in the end, I had to improvise tools to help them fix it and get it working, or else the whole street behind me was stuffed. Oh no. I was the first to sign up for it. That's kind of the way I am right here. There's several different places right here, pretty much nearby, and I think I'm the first one to sign up, so I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if I'm the only one that's getting connected to it, or if anybody else is getting it as well. I really don't know. All I know is I need that internet. I'm going to know what to think. Teresa, Steve says, do you make more than guitars? Yeah, I do a little bit of everything. I mean, you could scroll back on the channel. You will see what I consider a wide variety of projects. It just so happens that right now I am in the midst of a guitar build that's taking up the majority of my time. I absolutely do a lot more than guitars. I like a little bit of everything, normal woodworking stuff around the house, repairs, small engine, welding, metalworking, leatherworking, all sorts of things. It's just that when I am in the middle of a guitar build, I need to get it done. Mostly because I don't have a very big shop. You're literally seeing pretty much from one wall to the other, almost. Like right here, right. Let's see, right there. I've got about 10 inches to the wall right there. My hand is on the wall. My arm's not even straight. That's the other wall right there. And my shop is very small. I don't have a lot of space for other activities or multiple projects most of the time. Sometimes I'll scoot everything back and I'll work on something else. But for this, I'm trying to tackle this guitar build right now because I got a guitar show that I'm going to be attending at the very beginning of May the 9th. It's in Denver, Colorado. So my goal is to get this build knocked out, get it done. That way it's ready to go. That way I have plenty of time if I run into issues or anything like that. Once these once this build is complete, I got other projects on the list that I'm going to be tackling. So that's why right now it seems like we're doing nothing but working on guitars. But there's a reason for that, and that's because I don't have room and I just need to get this project done. So, but stay tuned. Is there something you're wanting to see? Something you're interested in? Let's see here. Time surfing says that's nice. You're talking about this body? Right on. Thanks, Time Surfing. This is not the actual body. This is a test body out of some scrap wood. This is the top of an old dresser that actually was my old dresser. I might keep this body though for that reason. This was my old dresser when I was a kid. I let my daughter use it. Well, I gave it to her for a while to use. She used it for several years as well. Until it really just kind of started busting apart. Too many times getting moved across the floor and it broke apart. So I just salvaged some of the wood and used it for scrap, for, just setup stuff. This it's pine. It's all pine, but it's, just some material that I had. It does look pretty cool. I left this finish on there. That's the color of the dresser that I've used since I was like 8 years old. Because when I actually build this guitar, the body's going to be alder, the top's going to be black walnut. So we're going to have a similar, not exact, a similar color combination. I just kind of wanted to get a visual. Robert says, my cousin got that type of connection, basically a wireless type of connection, passed away a year and a half after he got the connection. Yeah, when I first got it, Robert, it was great. I mean, because we had upgraded from literally dial-up, 56, whatever it was, K, 52, 40, I don't remember what the speed was, to a 1 gig or a 1 megabyte bit, whatever connection, and it was great. But now it's nothing. It's not hardly adequate for anything. Mike says they should provide that to you. No need to rent from them. I think so. Yes. I think the rental thing that I saw was if you wanted their router for their Wi-Fi and all that, and I didn't select any of that. So I think to your point, yes, I think I get whatever the hardware goes with it to give me that Ethernet connection. And that's all I want. And I'm already signed up and everything, so hopefully I don't end up having to pay like double at some point. I bet I will. I'll bet maybe I won't. They're gonna have it hooked up hopefully next Friday. I think my bill comes out for my current one like at the end of the month or the beginning of April. I might be able to shut that off and be all right. Sampakin, Rick is here, says, oh man, I slept in, but I'm here. Right on. What's going on, Rick? How are you doing? Edgelight says, no way. I'm here. Yeah, right on. Yes, you guys, everybody's here. Woohoo! Let's party. We need some party music. Sam Packin says, hey, that looks good. Hold that up for me. You got it. So this is a lefty, so it's going to be like this. This is still not the actual body, but you get a good representation of what it's going to look like. Norman says, did you hear about Fender winning a copyright case in Germany over a Chinese company on the strap body design? Yes, I actually heard that yesterday. I don't even know where I heard that, but I did. That's interesting, but it's only in Germany, from my understanding, which is kind of weird. I don't know. I guess somebody on AliExpress or something, they cracked down on them. I don't know. I didn't think that body shape was copyrighted. But maybe everybody's cracking down on that sort of stuff. Good thing, maybe I need to copyright mine so somebody doesn't steal it. Mike says, gators. I never seen Jeff build a gator. Yeah, that'd be fun. I like gators. No, I think that's just a typo. Edgelight says, is the CNC machine elevated? It looks like there's a window behind it. Yes, it is elevated. A little higher than I would like it, but it's normally I would want it more like a waist high or thereabouts. It's a little higher than that. mainly because I had to get very creative when I got that machine to make space so that I could have a flat surface. And in order to make that happen, I had to make the table taller than I would normally do, because underneath of it is a whole lot of household storage, totes and things, Christmas decorations, and just some stored items and stuff like that. Because I don't have a lot of storage space, I had to build that taller just so I could work around that. But that's all. The window doesn't make it great for filming because it gets backlit, which causes the video to wash out quite a bit. But you're right, there is a window behind it, which I like when I'm working there because I get some natural light. But overall, yes, to answer your question, it is elevated, but not super tall. It's, I don't know, it's probably chest height. Maybe it's a foot taller and I would like it. Sam says, I got a tool to make up cat cables and I can get colored boots, RJ45 plug protectors. Oh yeah, like the little rubber thingy that goes over it. That's a technical term. Thingy. Yeah, I have built several cables. Actually, quite a few. For quite a while, when I was working the corporate maintenance type position, which I did for a long, long time, there would be times when I would have to help the facilities teams do different things, from, I don't know, running airlines or running electric lines, or sometimes, actually quite a bit, running network cables. And we would string hundreds and hundreds of feet, terminate them with the, strip the wire and do all the terminations and all that. Done a lot of those things. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Harry Dude says to Norman, I saw a video on that. Gonna be fun watching some companies panic. Might see some guitars dumped cheap before it kicks in. Yeah, so the way I read it was it only applies to Germany. So I don't know, are they just gonna not sell in Germany? I mean, it seems to me that if you were facing some sort of a lawsuit or something like that, to get around it, you just wouldn't sell in Germany. Unless there's something I missed about that. So you just pull all your stuff from the German market and sell everywhere else, which would be the easiest probably, but I don't really know. But since Germany started that, are they going to set the bar? You know what I'm saying, right? So they're like, oh, Germany's, yeah, that's a good idea. We're going to do the same thing. Now it branches out into, who knows? All of the EU. Does that branch out into U.S., Australia? All of that. How does that work? Because there's even, now I don't know if the shapes are exact, right? But I know that Ibanez makes a version, a Strat style. All of them do, pretty much make a Strat style. ESP, everybody. Did they change anything, or is it literally the exact same? That I don't know. But I mean, what if it branches out into that, so that literally nobody can make that shape except Fender? I don't know. That'd be pretty wild. I'm kind of glad that I don't make a Strat shape, because would they start coming after the little guys? I don't know. Oh, let's see here. Paulo Commando. Sorry if I've said that wrong. So the body design is wicked cool. Can you explain why the pickups and neck is at an angle? Would like to understand. Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, thank you. I appreciate that. So this is, I should have brought one of the pickups out here. So this is a guitar. A little background before I explain everything. This body shape is one that I've made for years. It's what I call the Dorian. It's my Haley Guitars model called the Dorian. It's my own design, kind of a mashup of a few different things mixed with a couple of extra curves and stuff. But my own design. It's one of my favorites. I might be a little biased, but anyway, this is the Dorian. I built it for years. You can go to Haley Guitars and see what it looks like without some of these contours in there. For this build, this is the first build where I'm taking my Dorian design and I've digitized it. Up until now, I've used just templates and done everything by hand. Templates that I made by hand and all of that. For this build, I wanted to digitize it so that I can cut it out on the CNC machine. So once I had it digitized, that gives me a little different, it gives me a lot of options for customization, right? Because I can just draw it digitally and then cut it out. This build is different because most of my Dorians have been a 25.5-inch scale length. This one's going to be a baritone, but not only a baritone, but also it's going to be a multi-scale, meaning it's got, you know, these fan frets. This is the neck that's going to be used on the final build. This is the test body, but this is basically what the real one's going to look like. So you can see that the frets, you know, I've got two different scale lengths. The base side, which actually to go this way, the base side is a 28-inch scale length. The treble side is 26.5. So since the frets kind of go in this angled pattern, I angled everything to match, right? So that everything has the same aesthetic. The bridge is also going to be at an angle. It's a special multi-scale bridge. So initially I didn't have the pickups turned. I had them straight across, but I wanted to keep that angled continuity. So I angled the pickups and the bridge is angled. I can show you what the bridge looks like because I've got it right here. So since it's a multi-scale, that's why the pickups are angled and everything else. So the bridge will go like this. It's still the same outer body shape as all the Dorians that I've made before, but I've gotten a little bit more creative with the contours and the comfort carves and all that. So we've got a belly carve, got some access carves here. These are, I don't know. I always thought that the ones on the back were more usable, but after actually messing with this, like it seems to fit your hand better than back here. I don't know, like if you play up high, like your hand just falls into that. And I actually think I like these top carves better now. And this one, this is just a variation on the arm bevel, right? We were talking about the Strats earlier. You know, Strats has that arm bevel right here. This is just a variation on it. Yeah. So that's kind of the scoop on these. It's angled because it matches the neck, and really because this is completely my own design. So I'm just trying to do some different things. One thing that I have really liked doing that I did first on the subtonic bass guitar is including the truss rod access in the bottom of the neck. I really like that. So I incorporated that there. Normally, I would just cut it off right there, you know, and that would fit the neck pocket. But I like that now. Like since I did it on the bass, I think I'm going to incorporate that on everything. I like the way it looks, and I like not having to mess with anything to get truss rod access. Just a little something, personal preference of mine that I'm working into my own instruments. So I hope that answers your question. If not, feel free, keep asking questions. I will answer as best I can. Norman says the EU. Oh, Harry Dude also says, believe the case in Germany was for the whole EU. Oh, I missed that. Okay. For some reason, I was thinking that it was just Germany. Okay. Thanks for correcting me, guys. I appreciate that. Edgelight says, I need to make space for mine too. I feel you. Yeah. I just had to get creative. And I just said, you know what? This is going to work. Maybe it's not ideal if I had more room, but I just built it higher. That way I could still store what I needed to underneath. And really, all it was I literally spent, I don't know, a couple hours restacking things underneath to figure out the maximum height that these things were needed to be, or that the tubs were. And then I had a number that I could build the table off of. So I kind of started with the totes, stacked them accordingly, and built a table to fit over top. And that's just what it ended up being. Norman says, it wasn't before as it was ruled an average design, but to be honest, when everyone started to make designs like that, none of the measurements were exact and we all should be fine. I agree that there's probably enough changes, especially from the big names, that it's not going to be affected. But it sounded like what I read was like an AliExpress, like a complete knockoff kind of thing or something along those lines. Dallo's here. Dallo, what's going on? Dallo says, Multiscale, just checking in. It's 1 a.m. here. So I'll just say hi. Have a great day. Right on, Dallo. Thanks for checking in. Yeah, we're doing a multi-scale. It's going to be cool, I hope. Right on. Good to hear from you. I hope you're doing well. Robert says, I was watching a video the other day where a guy was building something. I don't remember just what he was making, but he's using a laser engraver to mark everything, to cut all the parts out. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that. I was using the laser engraver the other day as well. The logo on this, as well as the serial number and all that on the back, that's laser engraved, but you can't feel it because I tried something different, and now I think I'm going to do that on everything. I used the laser engraver to burn the logo in there, and then I filled it with CA glue, so it's like perfectly smooth underneath everything. Right? There's no bumps or nothing, and there's no outline of a sticker. You can't see any of it. It's literally just the logo there, and and the same on the back. I filled that with CA glue. I think it worked well on these because this is maple. If this was like a mahogany and was more porous, I don't know if I would do that, but it worked really good here. And as long as I'm doing a maple neck, I think I'm gonna keep doing that because it turned out really good. Laser engrave it and then fill it in. Sempakin says they've been copying the Strat and the Telly for years. Yeah, I have a PV in the shop right now, and it couldn't be more like a Strat. Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, how are these other names, the big brands, are they going to be affected by something like that as well? Is PV, is ESP, is Ibanez, are they all going to be able to continue selling in Europe? I don't know. It's interesting, though. Sam says, might be a good idea to invest in a solar power station pack now. There's one on Best Buy that can apparently charge an EV. Wow, that's crazy. That's nuts. Paulo Commando, thanks, bro. You're right on. You're welcome. Hope that answers your questions. Yeah, stay tuned. You're going to see this come to life here over the next several weeks. I'm so excited. I've got the pickups for it. It uses 7-string pickups because when you tip it, of course, you lose some of that width. So in order to keep that width, I got 7-string pickups that are going to be going in there. It's going to be cool. This is a build. Yes, it's taking me a while, but this is a build that I am really excited to get done, to be able to play, to be able to see it even. And yeah, I can't wait. Harry Dude says, Ibanez, Schecter, ESP, LTD, Court, Yamaha, Tokai, and many others have Strat-style guitars. Yes. Going to be interesting to see how far Fender goes with it, or if they license the shape. Oh. Harry Dude. Yeah. I could totally see them going to, Ibanez and everybody going, hey, you're using our design. We could either sue you for it, or cease and desist kind of thing, or we'll sell you a license to use the shape. Yes. I could see that. Yep. Just saying, we won't sue you for millions. You can just pay us, half millions or whatever. We won't sue you for tens of millions, but for 10 million, we'll license it to you. Yeah, I could see something like that. Sneaky thing. Yep. Sempakin says, with the contours the way they are, fits into the angle of everything. Is the good body going to have the contours? Yes. It's going to be pretty much this right here, just out of different wood. This is This is the exact same. The G code that I used to cut this out on the machine is exactly the same as what I'm going to use for the actual body. It's just going to be different wood. It's going to be, instead of pine and pine, it's going to be alder and black walnut. So still a sort of a dark light that way. Color combination. And I think it's going to be pretty awesome. I hope. Teresa Steve says, that is nice, even though it was a test one. Yeah, thank you. I think I'm going to keep it. I don't know if I'll ever do anything with it, but I think I will keep it around. Robin's here. Robin says, oh, wow, thought I was in good time for the live stream. Must have started early. No, Robin, we had daylight savings. So, yes, I guess it did start early, but it still started at 9 a.m. Mountain time, anyway. Yeah, daylight savings always tends to mess everything up. That's what we were talking about early on. But good morning. Welcome. Norman says, Fender got a new, younger CEO that's shaking things up. Used to only be the headstock for them. Yes, that's what I always thought. They had the headstock protected, which is understandable, right? But yeah, now they're throwing the body shape into the mix, which is pretty wild. After it's sort of being Wild West on that for quite some time, it's going to be interesting to see how that whole thing pans out. I don't really know. But I think Harry Dude hit on it right there. I can imagine that that's what's going to happen. In fact, let's just say that's our prediction, because I agree with you, Harry Dude. Licensing. They're going to, maybe the like import knockoffs, maybe they're going to get, cut. But I can't see that the big names are going to get cut. I can see them going, we'll license it to you. It's fine. You can keep making all your models, because those factories are all in it. But who knows? Maybe not. Maybe they cut everybody off. I would just say, make your own design. It doesn't take, you just got to change a little something. Apollo Commando, thank you for all your videos. They have really helped me on learning to build a guitar. Right on. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. And yeah, stay tuned, because this one's gonna be hopefully coming along well over the next couple of weeks. I want to get this done. I've got other projects that are starting to pile up that I need to start getting to. I've also been doing a lot of 3D printing lately. I mentioned before that I'm trying to get our shedding blades, the grooming blades, on Amazon. I've been working slowly but surely on that. All I got to do now is finish labeling them with their, because they got to have a SKU number as per Amazon. So I'm working on that, and hopefully I can get that shipment off to Amazon, and they'll be listed on there. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, just a lot of stuff going on. I got to get this build done though, so that I can focus more on some of that other stuff. Norman says, as Fender has bought up so many companies to get rid of competing. Yeah. Yep. Sam says, just a heads up, a few weeks ago I was moderating another channel, and YouTube AI algorithm was deleting a lot of comments. Too many for any mod to do. I think it was a major glitch in YouTube. I mean, maybe that's what was going on here. Sometimes they just disappear. I don't know. Who knows? Have you guys noticed, like, Sam brought up the AI stuff. I've been noticing a lot more channels recently and not small channels either. Not huge, but 30 to 70,000 subscribers, where I'm watching, I'll click on a video and I'm looking at it kind of going, I really think this is AI, just based on the background. And it's literally just most of the time a person just sitting there where maybe a hand moves and they're sitting pretty still, but it seems kind of convincing, except the background maybe doesn't look right. I really feel like we're starting to get flooded with that. I don't know. And I'll scroll through the comments or anything like that, and I don't see any flag that says this is AI. But I swear some of these videos, more often now, are AI. I could be wrong, and I hope I am. But there's been several that I've clicked on, and I start watching, and then, a minute in, I'm like, I don't think this is real. I could be wrong. And I look at the subscriber counts, and they're decent sized channels now. I got a feeling that that's the direction we're heading, and I don't like that. You guys notice that though? But that was something I wanted to ask. Harry Dude says Jackson and Charvel will be fine as they are owned by Fender. True. They own a surprising amount of other brands. Oh, that's true. So they would just, yeah, maybe so. Yeah, I don't know. Edgelight says I had to put the garbage out, so I was AFK, away from keyboard. It's all right. We're still here. Edgelight says so many channels are all AI. It sucks. Yes. Okay, so you're seeing it too. Yes. Some of them are very, very convincing at first. And then I start seeing the same thing in the backgrounds. The way something's lit. And I'm like, I think that's not real. And then I feel dumb for clicking on a video that was AI. Like, it needs to be clearly noted somehow, I think. But here's the weird part, right? When I upload a video, little old me, I am not AI. There's a button in there. There's a thing that I have to check that says, is any part of this, I forget the exact wording, but basically, is any of this done with AI is kind of the question. And I have to click no, because it's not. I don't know if they aren't clicking it as they should, or if they are and they just don't, maybe YouTube just doesn't tell you. I don't really know, but it's weird. Robin says, apparently our clocks go forward on the 29th of March. Interesting. Yeah, see, but that's what we were talking about. Everybody's got a different schedule. It's hard to keep up with. Edgelight says, are you real? Put up your hands. You need to count your fingers. Yeah. Sam says, you're not wrong. YouTube allows it. Yes, I've been seeing it. It's happened probably in the last week. Probably there's been at least 3 videos, different channels, that I will click on because it seems like a video that I'm looking for information on. And then I start watching it, and it's AI. It's clearly AI. I don't like that. It should say right in the title or something very upfront that this is AI. Mike Johnson says, no, you're not wrong. It looks like a lot of AI, hands changing position, etc. Yeah. Sam, LOL. Edgelight, same with bands. Yes. Yes. Ah. Guitar 79. Far too many AI videos at the moment on YouTube. Yes. You guys are with me. Thank you. It's not just me. I've been seeing that. I don't like it. I don't have a problem with AI. I don't. But when you can create a video with AI and someone who creates videos, myself, ends up clicking on them not knowing, I don't like that. Like if I clicked on it and it clearly said there was a badge or something that said AI, fine. But I don't want to click on a video thinking I'm watching a video with a person. But it's AI. I do not want that. I feel that my 2 cents is I feel that it takes away from those of us actually trying to create videos. Again, if there was a flag that said AI, I'm all for that. But it's the misleading part that I don't like. It's like LOL. All the fingers. Yeah. Sam Packin says, I missed the time thing. BC just switched ahead for the last time. The last time? Like, are you guys done with it? Is that what you're saying? Man, lucky if that's the case. Harry Dude, I hear all of the same AI generated voices. Yes. Needs to be a report AI button on each video so AI can judge if it's AI or not. Because that'll work so well. Yeah. But I agree, right? I don't know. I feel like it's encroaching on us, which, on us that make videos, which it's going to. It's going to. That's the bottom line. But it needs to be clearly said, noted. Edgelight says, our time changed last weekend. Yes, so did ours. This past Saturday night, Sunday morning, whatever it was. Robert says, a lot of the YouTube shorts seem to be AI generated. These days, some of them are so bad, it's easy to tell they're AI. Others are hard to tell. I feel it's AI. It should be noted as AI. Yeah! Edgelight says, I do have a problem with AI. I mean, I do as far as that goes. I think there's usefulness in there somewhere. I don't exactly know what that is, to be honest with you. But I know it's something new, and unfortunately, I don't think it's going anywhere. So I try to approach it with, okay, how can this be useful for us, right? This is just me, my kind of take. But like I said, the problem I'm having is with all of this AI content, not saying it's AI content, you know. And I even look when I start to suspect a video's an AI. I will scroll through the comments. Or not the comments. Well, I have even the comments, right? I'll scroll through the comments, and I don't see anybody even in the comments going, this is AI. People are literally like, oh, this is the best video ever. Like, thanks for this information. I'm like, do you guys not understand that this is just AI? This is not a dude reading the comments. I try to read all my comments. I can't always respond to every single one, but man, I try to. It's frustrating. That part is. But I do try to keep an open mind as to how can this be helpful for us in general. I don't know. Robert says, some are noted as being AI, but many are not. Yeah, that's what I have seen. The ones that I have clicked on, I don't see where it says AI. And that's what bothers me. It says, Norman says there's a lot of AI cooking and other types, and they ask where you are in the world. Yeah, interesting. I don't think I've seen the cooking ones. Of course, I don't, only if I'm looking up a recipe, I end up watching cooking videos. Sempakin says, we're staying on daylight savings time forever. Yes, you've won. Now, hopefully everybody else will. Sam says, the UK is getting its very own credit card payment system in case we lose Visa. The UK is 95% Visa. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't even know that was up for debate. Sempakin says, the video AI is just the tip of the iceberg. I feel, Rick, that you are 100% correct. I really do. I hate to say that. But given the fact that I have been seeing, just little old me, have been seeing so many AI generated videos and content, I feel like that's going to be where things are headed, like it or not. I think you're right. Edgelight says, I use it for work stuff, but not personal. The problem is I'm training it to do my job. It's the worst. That's the worst. Like, I could see that. Not you specifically, but, doing stuff like that, programming and coding and building things and creating stuff that others of us use. I could see that. Like it or not, right? But the content, I don't know why that bothers me. It really does, because it's taking over. I guess it's no different, right, than if it's building and coding and programming. The more I unpack this, it's some of this stuff I never really thought about. It's the same thing. So if you're a programmer, you're going to have AI built programs. It's no different than an AI created video pushing out video creators. Yeah. As I unpack that, yeah, it changes my thought. Thank you. Thanks for bringing that up. It makes me think about stuff more. Yeah. Heritage says, the best video ever, says AI bought an AI video. Yeah. See, that's, you read the comments. Next time you come across an AI video, go down to the comments and see if anybody calls it out as being AI. I almost guarantee if you are fairly confident it's AI, I'll bet there's no comments saying it's AI. I looked at probably 3 different videos this week, and I swear they're AI, and it's always weird names too. One of like, I forget what it is, Stanberg, or something like that. It's like literally the channel title, and it's some dude with a weird mustache with a weird AI looking background, and nobody in the comments calls it out for AI. And Mike says the comments can be fake as well. Yeah, 100%. And I think they are. Robin says, not interested in AI, but I do like RI, real intelligence. Yeah, yeah. Sam says, with AI, look closely at the image. Too many imperfections in them. Yep, 100%. Edgelight says, I bet their subscribers are AI too. Oh, yeah. I wonder if there's a way to put a call out for like the AI bots to just go and subscribe. I'll bet there is. But I've seen several, and like, man, how have I not heard of this channel before? It's got 70, 80, 90, 100,000 subscribers. And then I get to looking at it, and I'm like, something's fishy here. How does it have 100,000 subscribers? Because I think it's AI. Robert says, if I make a commitment to a video I believe is AI generated, I make a comment stating that I think it's AI. Oh, if I make a comment to a video, yes. I should have done the same, but I didn't. Maybe I need to start. Guitar 79 says, a good cooking video on YouTube called Lincoln Park. I like it. Edgelight says, I'm about to get off YouTube because of all of this AI crap. Edgelight, I don't blame you. I don't. That is a definite topic that that is on my mind quite a bit. Like, I'm trying to ponder stuff. There's nothing I can do about it. I wish there was, unfortunately. Senpakin says, trade jobs will be the last thing humans will have until they get better with the robots. Yeah, because an AI can't do that. An AI can't fix your car. An AI can't install your internet. An AI can't, do all of that stuff. An AI can't build your guitar necessarily. They might be able to cut out your guitar or something, but you know what I'm saying. Edgelight says, this is my favorite part of the week, but I still keep missing it. Ron, Edgelight, I'm happy to hear that. I am. Thank you. And hopefully set a reminder or something. I don't know. It's hard though with daylight savings. When everyone's kind of in that daylight savings time frame, it does get kind of hard. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm glad you're here. Mike Johnson says, in my early years, I developed Pac-Man for VAX systems at the UWH19. AI attributes it to someone else. Then when I correct it, attributed the program to Paul Allen. Jeez. Interesting. Yeah, see, AI doesn't even know half the time. Do you guys ever use like that Gemini? Like, I have an Android phone and I use the Gemini on there. I use it more for just to see what its interesting answers are. Like, I'll, like, man, what song is this? Or who wrote that song? I'll ask it different questions. Sometimes the answers are absolutely comical. Robert says, a lot of time you can tell if it's AI when someone is talking and the lips doesn't match. It's not, and it's way out of sync. Yeah, I've seen that a little bit. But I have also seen a couple that are very convincing, except for some weird things in the background. And I'm just like, that's where it starts to get a little weird. Sam says, YouTube is full of unskippable ads too. I'm seeing more of those as well. Adam Jansen says, unfortunately, I may not be able to comment because people say my intelligence is artificial, but you can easily spot AI generated guitar videos because the player is usually half dressed in thumbnail. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yep. I always try not to skip on those or to click on those because yeah, for that reason. And I say your intelligence is not artificial. Edgelight, these ads that take over your video are driving me crazy. It mutes you. I have seen those where it plays the video side by side, or I've heard of those. I have not had one come up yet. I don't know if it's just a live stream thing or what, but yeah, come on. Can you just let us have our thing? Edgelight says, I worked at Digital, but PCs, not VAX. Interesting. Sempakin said, ChatGPT helped me with specs on the last telly I made. You know what? I think there's uses for that kind of stuff. I do. Because I use it too. I use ChatGPT. I try to, like I said, I try to experiment and understand some of this stuff. Another thing I've used it for recently is doing some research on laptops and stuff like that. Hey, what are the top laptops? Give me a list of whatever. Here's my criteria, and it does a decent job, I think, at stuff like that. Yeah, I don't hate it for that. Harry Dude, anytime you teach AI something, it does not keep or use that knowledge outside of your own chats. Yes, I use AI for researching stuff, actually much better than a standard search engine. Yes, that's kind of what I use it for, a search engine. But yeah, here's something funny. I don't know if it still does it, but I haven't done it in a while. But for quite some time, might have been last year when I was working on the Subtonic. Year before? I don't know. I think it was last year. I was talking about it. I asked it something about a bass guitar. So, and it said, oh, for the bass that you're looking for, blah, 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 bass, right? It said it like that. So I told it, no, a bass is a fish. If we're talking about fish, you'd say bass. If we're talking about a guitar, it's pronounced bass, blah, blah, blah. I know it's the same spelling. And I went through this nonstop for days, and it kept saying bass, bass, bass. And I was trying to teach it. It doesn't care. It has no idea, has no recollection of any of that. Edgelight says it's doing it on this video. Oh, it's breaking in. Dang it. Hey, dude says I normally watch YouTube on a computer or laptop. Watched the YouTube for the first time in ages on the TV and couldn't stand all the ads and interruptions. Yeah, I don't ever look on the computer or TV. Sorry, I almost always use a computer or the tablet. But the tablet's about ready to die anyway, so it's going to probably just be on the computer. But yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird. I don't know how we ended up talking about this for quite some time. That's okay. That's what happens. With an open conversation, we can talk about whatever. We're not AI programmed to talk about just one thing. And these are the things that frustrate us, right? Frustrates me, frustrates you guys. So we can talk about that. Harry Dude, cough, you block. Orange, cough. Yeah. Sam posted the PayPal link. Hey, thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. Because YouTube takes 45%. Yeah, it does. They got to dip their hands in. Not enough ads. Anyway, I probably ought to be getting back to work. I don't know about you guys. I got to do some editing. Stay. I got a bunch of frets here you can't even see me. What's the camera doing? Camera, what are you? What? Hello? That was funny. It just decided it wanted to look at whatever. I got frets over here all cut. I got to finish filing the tang, get them installed, get another coat of finish applied on this neck, edit videos, package up shedding blades. Good grief. I got a dentist appointment tomorrow. That's going to take time. I wish I didn't have to go to that, but whatever. It's just a routine cleaning, but all the same stuff that we got to do. You know what I mean? But yeah, you guys, thank you. Thanks for hanging out today. We're going to wrap this up. And yeah, thanks for agreeing with me. Not that I'm asking you to agree with me, but I'm glad to hear that a lot of you are feeling the same things as I'm feeling about a lot of these AI videos and things. I think it's a bigger deal than a lot of us actually know. Let me just say that. Yeah, anyway, glad to hear I'm not alone in some of that. You guys, thank you for tuning in today. I really appreciate all of you I really do, truly, for taking some time out of your day to hang out with me here at Home Built Workshop. Hang out in the shop, talk about what we're working on and that sort of thing. I'm so appreciative and thank you. I really appreciate all of you. Sam says, don't forget to smash the like button. Not the screen, yes. Robert says, AI can be useful in videos. If it's used, it should be noted. Yes, 100% agree to that. The AI was used to create it. They should enforce it. I agree. Hey, Edgelight says, camera's checking you out. Camera, stop it. They're always watching. Harry Dude says, catch you all next week. Stay well. Right on. You too, Harry Dude. Norman says, ciao. Have a great day. Robert, the ads showing up today are just cutting in and showing full screen, not the split screen they have had in the past weeks. Interesting. Sam Packing says, celebrate your day, everyone. Have a good one. Sam, thank you for the fantastic stream today, boss. You're a legend. Right on. Thank you, Sam. Thank you for being here. Thanks for your help, too. I appreciate that. Sam's helping with some of the moderation duties, and I truly appreciate that, Sam. Robert says, everyone stay safe and healthy. Have a great one. You guys, I'm getting out of here. Get out in your shops. Build some cool things. Spend some time outside. Just have fun. Enjoy yourself. Be safe. I'll talk to you all next time. I'm out of here. Time to get back to work. Enough slacking off. Thank you, guys. We'll catch you next week. We're out.